Well, everybody, welcome back to the 3 of 7 podcast. It sure is nice to be back to our regularly scheduled programming and our regularly scheduled team PTs, and at least for a little bit, it's all going to get ransacked again.
Yeah.
Soon. Boy, I tell you what, God has been good, man. He keeps sending it. He just keeps sending stuff down the pipe, son. It's wild. We need to daggone look, man. We need to hire somebody. We need to We need to hire the right team member. I'm putting it out just for you guys that listen.
Well, I've done talked to one.
This unit right here is ready to expand.
Yeah.
At least in my opinion.
Yeah, there's some things we got to figure out a little bit before, but we headed that way.
Well, God bless you, Blake. What's up, Chili Wee? Glad to be back?
Yeah, I am. You keep saying it's back to our regularly scheduled program, and we stayed on schedule.
Yeah, we did, but it's a lot different recording out on the road with a lav mic on.
Well, it's regularly scheduled coming out, but not recording.
Hey,
Well,
I just want to tell you guys, man, all you guys listening to this, I just want to tell you thank you for putting in the effort to go and leave us a review on the iTunes app. Our show is now consistently in the top 200 in fitness on the iTunes app. Yeah, I know that's not good enough, but you guys are the only ones that can bump it up in the rankings. How can you do that? Well, one, leave us a review on iTunes if you get anything out of the show, even if it's just entertainment value. We would appreciate that. Two, share the episode, man. If you get anything out of the episodes here at 3 of 7 Podcast, share it with somebody. Share it on social media or share it with one of your buddies or something, man. Shoot them a text. That helps us out tremendously, man. It helps us get the word out. This podcast it's for you guys that are listening. We love doing it. It's one of my favorite parts about 3 of 7 Project. I love doing the podcast, and I think it's helped a lot of people, but it can't grow without you guys' help, obviously. So we would appreciate that. The reviews on iTunes are just awesome. I read every single one of them. Here's the latest one. I just pulled this up. Love the podcast. It centers me back up to Christ. Sometimes we can let the world cloud our vision, and we need to be reminded to look toward Jesus because he's everlasting. Unlike the things of the world that will fade and crumble. I know I need the grace every day, every minute of my life Christ has to offer. Love the show. Keep spreading the message. That was from John P. 8888. Thank you, John. I appreciate that, man. Those reviews encourage me greatly. So just wanted to put that out there. We had a little team PT this morning.
Well, hold on. Let's
up?
hit one other thing. The new basic course dates are out.
Oh, yeah, I've got that on my list. I'll put that out at the end of the show.
Okay.
Yeah, basic course 2022 dates are out.
jump the gun again, Blake.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what's on this list, so I got to be sure we cover down.
Trust me, I got that on the list, son. It's high time we put those dates out.
Carry on.
We had our team PT this morning. It didn't go so well.
Me and you did, didn't we?
Yeah. You know, I promised Chili that I would be real with him. Because I don't know if I don't think that people can understand why I take this team PT so seriously. Because I think it's I personally think it's one of the most important aspects of the team, the leadership team here at 3 of 7 Project. We only do it on Wednesdays. Okay? I would do it more often if we could convince Chili to move down here to Georgia. We ain't convinced him yet. But I think it is extremely important. I think it's extremely important for multiple reasons. One, because it brings us together. 2, because it allows us to push against one another and make each other better. 3, because it lets us each know where we're at as far as the lineup goes, physically and mentally, in my opinion. It lets us know where we're at within the team. So it's super important. What do you have to say for yourself, Chili?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Explain what I did wrong, and then I can.
Well, I'll start by saying this, Chili. You're good, but you are a long ways from being the best. You're good, but you're a long ways from being great.
At what?
At being a leader, at being just a solid warrior athlete for Jesus or for whatever the fight is, right? And the things, here's the thing. Y'all got to understand where I'm coming from. I posted a thing on Instagram on my story, the kind of the progression of my life yesterday, and people loved that. And somebody sent a message and said, "How does Chad 2006 look like Chili 2021?" See, what y'all don't understand is I've been where Chili's been. Back then, I was good, but I was about a decade from even being remotely capable of competing in life itself, physically, mentally, spiritually, professionally. I was about a decade or more from even being in the neighborhood of being at the top in those arenas. And so I've been exactly where you are now. I know exactly how your mind ticks.
No, that I'll dispute you on that.
Oh no, because I was exactly like you, man.
No.
Look,
you've been trying to figure me out ever since you met me, and you can't do it.
No,
and it bothers you. No, I'll dispute you on that.
I want you to understand, and all you guys listening to understand. I'm not being boastful here, but you've seen the progression from me at 18 years old, wide-eyed, redneck, uncontrollable, all the way up through the progression of learning how to be a team member, going through some of the hardest training on earth, all the way up through being the personal security detail for the President of the United States, and all other things that I had, all the way to now, to who I am today, which is now today the most well-rounded version of myself. And I'm not being boastful, but I have the formula. I've worked through it. Now, the formula is like, you can't write it out. I can't give it to you in a book. Like, I can maybe scratch the surface on a couple things, right? Now, I have the formula to be my version of what I think is the best in all aspects of life.
Yeah, it's your version.
Yeah, it's my version. But it's also kind of a lot of what my version is, it's transferable. It's like the little minor details are different for each individual person, but the actual meat of it is transferable. And so it took me, well, now it's been probably, 15 years of grinding, and not only grinding through the process, but being mentored and trained by some of the hardest men on earth. Y'all think I'm hard? Y'all should have seen the dudes that put me through First Phase and Buds. Those men, I was developed by literally, without a doubt, the hardest men on the face of the planet. I had that pleasure. And that's why I am who I am. And I try to live up to that standard, not only when I'm training you, but when I'm training people at the basic course or the proving grounds or the Alpine trip. Why do y'all think that all of the stuff that we do is live? Why do you think these missions are with me in an environment detached from the world? Why? Because that's the only way I can even begin to pass this formula, if you want to call it, on to you. Unfortunately, I can't do it all in a weekend. Chili, you are my special project, man. I literally have dedicated myself because I know you want to be the best. You want to be the person that 15, 20 years from now is just freaking crushing everybody, but also able to understand the process, the formula, and also pour into other people, right? You have a lot of the same goals that I have in life. You're just not quite as far along as me. Blake has totally different set of goals, but me and you are in alignment with our goals.
I think we have different goals than you think.
Well, you just think that because you're being hard-headed right now.
No, I'm not being hard. Okay, this could be 10 hours because I don't think anyone has a clue what you're even really talking about yet.
Well, yeah, but we'll get there. But you don't. No,
okay.
It's not your time to talk right now. Okay. So you have it in you. I have dedicated myself to turning you in to the person.
Well, I pity that job.
All right. To helping you over the course of literally the next 10 years reach your full potential as a child of God, man. Just crushing it, dude. And so that's why I take our time together so seriously. That's why I take Team PT so seriously. And one of the main hang-ups for everybody that's just getting going in life, that has, especially people that are highly driven and have big goals, one of the main hang-ups is thinking like an individual. Chili mentioned it here just a second ago. It will stop you in your tracks at every single turn. You have to get that out of your head. You have to get to the point where you recognize that everything that you want to accomplish, whatever it is, you cannot do it alone. Not even in an individual sport, even such as ultra running. You cannot become the best on your own. You got to get out. And this took a lot of beating.
I agree with that.
To get this out of me, right? I know you see the truth in that. I know that, but you haven't.
I said it before we started this morning.
I know, but you haven't learned to apply it. Like it's literally a whole reworking of your mind. You see the world differently when it clicks. And so when I was your age, literally your age, and I'm not belittling how young you are. You're very mature and capable for your age. But when I was where you are in my journey, I thought a lot like you. And see, the dudes I was telling you about that put me through buds, they beat that out of me. Right? So, like, if I would have done what you did today in SEAL training, a lot of civilians would look at what you did today and say, well, dang, Chili he took it upon himself to do extra. He ran 12 miles instead of 8 miles. That's freaking awesome, man. Well, maybe that would be awesome if it wasn't a team PT. So this is what would have happened if I would have done that at Buds. The instructors would have looked at me coming in, and I probably would have been proud of myself that, heck yeah, man, I did all these cats just did 8 miles. I did 12 miles. They would have literally hammered the ever-living dog crap out of me for a week straight for that. a week straight. And if I would have been lucky enough to get through it without my body breaking, then they would have given me another chance. All right? And it all goes back to that thinking like an individual. I promise you this will stop you at every single turn. So what happened this morning on Team PT? Blake comes down with the Team PT this morning because we rotate. We rotate on who gets to choose the format of Team PT. He puts it out. We go out. Look, I don't know. Why did you run those extra miles? On the run.
We'll get to that.
On the run. Okay, we start out with 120 push-ups. We go out on the run. I go out first on the run, and I'm hauling. I hauled on that run. You know why?
Well, Blake finished them push-ups first.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did finish the push-ups first.
Come on now.
He passed me pretty
I
quick.
passed it pretty quick. I was hauling. You know why I was hauling? Because I wanted to give you the best of myself. That's why I was hauling. And never saw you until I came back up to the house. I did my 150 sit-ups, and then I go out on the bike. And I see you come pop out of the woods and make a wrong turn. And I yell at you. I'm like, Chili, you're going the wrong way. I thought maybe you had went crazy or something, or you had lost your way or something. And you just said, nah. I was like, Chili, what are you doing? You're like, and
That's not what I said.
And so I was like, all right, whatever, man. I'm rolling on.
Did you not hear me? I said I'm doing extra.
Okay, that's fine. I didn't hear that.
Okay.
I couldn't hear. I was yelling at him through the woods there. All right, before you explain why you did that, I am making a hard and fast rule right now. On Wednesdays, whoever comes down with the Team PT, we know the parameters that the Team PT has to fit in. 4-hour block, Wednesday morning. Whoever comes down with that Team PT, the rest of the team will follow that Team PT. And every single time, it will be a competition. Unless it requires us to work together. Because some of these Team PTs I've got in the future for us will require us to work together. But look, you decide how hard you want to compete. All right? That's up to you. But it will be followed to a T. I don't give a crap if Team PT involves us showing up at 4 a.m. in February and going and sitting in that freaking lake until we're about to freeze to death and then getting out and do something. It will be followed to a T. And I'm going to tell you what, because of what happened today, this joker's going up a notch. I have been too easy on these Team PTs. It's about to get freaking serious, man. You think I can't make you hurt and wish you were dead with 4 hours? I can make you hurt. I've got stuff in my freaking crazy head that you ain't never seen before, son. You ain't never even heard of. Satan himself couldn't dream it up.
Oh, I could make a 4-hour block torturous, but
I'm just going to go ahead and tell you.
You have to, are we training or are we trying to?
Well, we were training.
Okay.
But
well, yeah, that's how I thought of it.
But now.
You can make them whatever, but
it's about to change, okay? And it'll just change temporarily. And we'll get back to training later. But after what happened today, I'm not angry about it. That's cool. It's part of this process that we're working through here. So explain to me what you were doing.
Okay. Well, this is going to take a long time, and I should have been writing my notes down.
No, don't just give us the high level view, man.
No, I got a lot to say.
You don't comment on what I said. Tell me why you did what you did.
I wasn't going to comment on what you said. I have a lot to say. So I get there this morning, and there's certain things that you know intellectually that you don't really either process fully or maybe you're just not able to apply them, how Chad said. I don't know. But I grew up thinking I wanted to do everything alone, everything by myself. very individualistic. And I still am that way, but through ultra running, it became clear to me that you can't, I've said it a million times, even if I don't live it, nothing is accomplished alone. I fully believe that, but I still don't always live to that. Well, it kind of, maybe it's just going to have to keep dawning on me. It dawned on me literally like a week ago when I came to my dad and was like, because I haven't been coached for years. He's been my only coach ever. And then basically, because I didn't listen to him, that got done, he would have always helped me or whatever, and did continue to help me, but not like coach me. And then I came to him again and I was like, man, I've been having such a hard time getting back into ultra training because I'm physically, I don't know what's going on, but I'm fine. It's some kind of a blocks, stuff just keeps happening. I don't know. I can't get back into training. It's like I don't know what to do because I've tried all this stuff. Complicated. But I came to him and I was like, I just need your help. Like, I never liked just being told what to do every day without thinking about it and doing it, but that's almost what I need from him, from someone that I trust that knows what they're doing. And, so we're still working together, but we're coming up with what to do every day, basically. The training that I should do that's going to make me better and that I can handle,
Smart, yeah.
So that was literally, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, a revelation just a couple days ago, a week ago. And I even said that to you when I got there this morning. I said something about that.
I do remember you mentioning that.
Yeah, I mentioned that to you this morning, and then we started. Well, okay, so why did I have 12 miles in my head? Because that's what we had talked about running today. Just like a week ago, like having a week out, that was what this day was. So I was like, okay, well, I got to get 12 miles in today. And I thought, well, I'll just add on to the run and the PT, and that'll be 12. And then finish it out. No problem. So that's
I see where your head's at.
Yeah. So that's what I did to try to basically check that box, like check what I was supposed to do.
You were trying to merge team PT with your individual PT.
Yeah, well, I was trying. I had basically had a prescribed amount of mileage for today.
Yeah,
and so I was just figuring out, well, how am I going to do that? And so the options. Well, there was several options. I could have just said, well, screw that. It's training with them today. I could have done, since there was 8 miles included in that, done the 8 and then done 4 like this evening. And I guess that's probably what I should have done. Or
immediately following team PT. You could have
do it after. Yeah, that's true. Or just do it, add on during it. And that's what I did. And yeah, that is thinking like an individual. I fully agree with you. But how my mind works is like I need those parameters set beforehand. Because I did team PT.
I'm here for you, Chili. You can ask me about things like that.
I didn't think I needed to beforehand until now. Actually, it's just not going to take that long because that was where my head was at. I thought, okay, well, how do I do both today? Because I don't know. Do you think that here's a good question. Do you think that on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, whatever, that if I'm getting back into training, have a goal race? You're going to have a goal race here soon. Or, well, you do have something coming up, and then after that, you'll have another one. And so I've got one picked out now in December. Okay. Not that me and my dad were coming up with this perfect training plan that has to happen every day, but that's how I like to operate is if we got a plan to do it, I go freaking do it. How do you work those together?
I'll tell you how you work those together.
Because it's important to me. Like it causes me so much stress if I can't do that. If I wasn't going to get 12 miles in today, that would cause me a lot of stress.
Yeah.
So is the best way to work it together? Do it after like that?
I think that's a great way to do it. I think because there are 7 days of the week and only one day is team PT, then you just know that on Wednesday, it's team PT, man. And it's actually an opportunity to stretch yourself in different ways because team PTs are so dynamic. It's a great opportunity. Just even if you just wanted to set that day aside and say, I know today we're going to do something hard and it's going to be about 4 hours long.
Yeah.
But then if you have added miles, then do them at the end, because here's the thing. What really upset me today is, again, I expected you to catch me on that run. And if you wouldn't have been thinking about 12 miles, I think you would have caught me on that run, which would have forced me to run faster, which would have made me better. And that's why I'm upset.
No, I get it.
Because I'm no better today.
Oh, well, you're still... you got better.
Well, no.
Put the work in.
I stayed within the parameters of what I thought I was capable of doing, because nobody was even anywhere close to me. And so, no, I'm not any better today. And I'm not any better today because you failed me as my team member. Well, and that's what I'm upset about.
Well, I agree with that I failed you, but I don't. So you don't think getting a workout in like that makes you better unless you had some.
No, it didn't challenge me.
Do you get better on the other days?
You know when I got better? When you did race me that time, and you remember we come and we raced up. Like, dude, that hurt, dude. I mean, that hurt.
Do you not get better the other days of the week?
I mean, yeah, dude. Yeah, you might get a little fitter.
Yeah.
Right, but you're not unless somebody's there getting after you. You're not going to figure. I mean, look, I'm looking to figure new stuff out about myself. Like, I'm looking to push to the point that it just hurts so bad, I don't think I can go any further. That's where I'm at. This other stuff is just routine, staying healthy.
That's what races are for, right?
And that's what Wednesdays are for.
Well, no, I'm saying, but like, I thought that previously, I viewed that as training. And then races are where you actually like get that like you're talking about.
Well, now that's changed.
So now we race 52 times a year.
Every Wednesday, Team PT will be followed exactly as prescribed, and it will be a competition.
So what about you've got a 100-mile race or a 335-mile run scheduled for the weekend, and then Wednesday it's just balls out Team PT.
That's just something I got to deal with. That's something I got to deal with.
That don't even make any sense. If I had a 100-mile race on the weekend, why would Team PT not be like dialed back? You've got 335 miles.
You may not win that day. You may not win that day, but I expect you to push as hard as you think you can push, healthily. Okay?
Okay.
So, yeah, if we're doing Team PT on Wednesday and you got a 100-mile race on Saturday, I still expect us to do Team PT.
Yeah, well, I would too.
But you may not push to 100% effort, but you need to push as hard as you think you can push and still be ready on race day.
Okay.
So that might mean walking.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's different for everybody. I mean, but
no, I mean, that makes sense. So
this is a heavy burden on you, Chili, because I take this very seriously, man.
No, I'm trying to work through it. I didn't know I'd have to sit here and work through it while trying to record a podcast.
Well, I did this on purpose. It's all part of the process.
Quality content. What do you think, Blake? How do you think Team PT should be? I actually want to, I mean, I really want your opinion too on these like little intricate details that I think about when I overanalyze everything.
As far as how it should be on a race, I mean,
like
or
all
what?
these little details, like, you know, I crave competition. I literally raced every week for basically an entire year because I love it so much. But that's what got me in trouble.
Yeah, but you got to understand, Team PT ain't a 50-mile or a 50K race. You can race your buddies every week if you're talking about a hard pull at the end of an 8-mile run, you know, and a swim and a bike.
This is dialed back from a 50-mile race.
It's healthy.
But like, I don't know. It's just, I think you think about it way more simple than I do. I think about all the complex details of this.
Well, that's, again, I am building you up, Chili.
Well, what about this?
Hold on. You asked Blake what he had to say, and then you just cut off of it, man.
Well, you said something. Sorry.
Well, I mean, what happened today, I agree with Chad. I see how you got to do whatever it was, and then afterwards if you want to do more. But to me, I mean, you guys are the athletes, not me, but to me, one day, like, it goes beyond getting the work done. If you're going to be so stressed that you didn't get 4 miles when you had just done however 3 hours of exercising, then, I mean, the 4 miles probably ain't going to make you that much better, you know? So to be able to just say, well, I mean, I got a good workout in today. I'm better. If you push hard on those 8 and don't get the 4, then you got a good workout in.
Yeah, well, that's where I know that I've gotten in trouble in the past too, because I have obsessive compulsive disorder bad, and it's really wrecked my life multiple times. And with running, I always think of it that way too. And it's like when I'm running my best is actually when I'm the most anal about everything. It really is. And then, but that's going a crash is coming because of that. But when I'm running my best, it's when like I get something in my head, like 30 miles on Saturday, and come hell or high water, that's what I'm doing. It don't matter what. I've done it through some freaking crap before. And it's like there's something in my head just makes that work. And so when I decide that like what needs to be done on a certain day, there's like no getting me off of it. You know what I mean? So if like I had decided before, for whatever reason, 12 miles, then like that's why I agree. Intellectually, that 4 miles don't mean nothing. But something about when me getting that in my head.
You got to quit flipping that full send switch.
Yeah.
Because you can't flip it back off. When you're flipping that full
I don't like,
I'm doing the 12 miles.
I don't like this podcast. It's saying way too much about myself. But that's a little bit into my head. Like, I believed that what I was doing when I was training was perfect. I mean, I believed. I ran 17 that day and then did a track workout the next day that totaled up to be 20 miles. And then the next day it was a progression run that was 18 with 6 strides at the end and this set of drills and then this core routine. Those 3 days, I mean, that was perfect. If I had done anything different, I wouldn't have been as good as I was getting from that. That's just what I thought. And that's flawed. I don't know what's perfect to do, but that's what I believed. And just that belief it helped me so much. I mean, it made me think what I was doing was perfect. I think it's more important to believe that what you're doing is working, is optimal, than it to actually even be optimal. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Like, I think if you just ran 4 miles every day, that's not real good training for a 100-mile race. I mean, you need more than that. But if you believed that was just freaking perfect, I think you'd get a big boost from just believing that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, look, you have one objective. It's to start beating me consistently. Your goal right now, you want to be the best, but you can't beat me. All right?
I'll beat Chili today.
Well, yeah.
That's true.
Look, you want to be the best, but you can't even beat the old bull. And there's a lot of people out there that can beat the old bull.
Including me.
Listen, y'all got to start putting yourself around harder trainers like me. Y'all got to put yourself around people where you never win. That's when you grow.
He has not won a single team PT.
if you're just trying to like rile me up by saying I can't beat you.
Right now, there is no evidence that you can beat me.
At what?
At everything.
Anything?
Dude, swimming. Right, you haven't beat me at a run. You haven't beat me at a bike. You haven't beat me in a weightlifting.
We've only ran one time, and I was crapping in the woods.
I literally beat you by 18 minutes.
Well, I probably spent roughly that amount of time crapping in the woods.
Okay, well, we're not here to make excuses.
I'm not making an excuse.
Look,
I'm
You gotta work on your crapping, how efficient you are crapping.
I'm
Chili.
saying we've only
I can improve your crapping abilities on the trail side. If you need to work, I'll work
I'm good
through
at
that
it
with you. All right.
I'm good at it. I just
Not
had to
if
go
it's
a lot.
taking you 18 minutes.
But
I had to go find somewhere. Y'all were running up the trail.
But look, man, you need to start beating me consistently.
Well,
before you even think about showing your face on the stage in public.
Here's one thing too.
I'm not being boastful here, man. I'm saying I'm admitting the fact that if I went out here and ran a fairly popular, reputable 50-mile race,
You'd get wrecked.
people would beat me. Now, I would probably be somewhere in the top 10, maybe even top 3, but people would beat me. All right.
Well, it depends on which one. You may win one. You may. Yeah. I mean, depends on who's there.
If I go in the CrossFit gym and we do a workout, somebody's going to beat me. I'm going to be right there in the top 3 or 4, but somebody. So what I'm actually admitting the fact that I'm very well rounded. I'm very capable, but until you can start beating me consistently, even if it's just in running.
Yeah, because that was more my goals,
today,
man. Why I can't beat you in swimming and biking and CrossFit is because I have never given a crap about any of those.
Well, like today, if you would have hauled the mail by me on that run and you would have beat me in that run, but then I caught you and passed you on the bike, you should be satisfied with yourself. And I would be satisfied with you because that's what you're focusing on.
Yeah.
But there is no evidence right now that you can beat me in a run. So I want you to start showing that. All right? I want you to start showing us what you're truly capable of. And once you start doing that, then you can consider showing your face in the public arena. Because us at 3 of 7 Project, we've got a reputation to uphold when we go out into the world and show our face in a public arena.
I ain't going out and racing if I ain't going to freaking win. Now, what do you think?
So that's your main objective.
I'm just going to go out when I ain't going to freaking win? No, when I race again, I'm going to win. I ain't raced in 10 months. But the one I've got planned in December, that's why I'm trying to train like this, trying to get back on. It's not even been that freaking long, but I've been consistent lately, which has been a struggle for the past 10 years. And being consistent with the help of my dad, that's been a big difference. And so today, I did 12 because of that.
Well, I have faith that it won't happen again. I feel like
it won't happen like that. But we gotta. You know what you told? You told me a while ago. You said if I was getting back into training. You said I can't remember, but you said something about Taylor and PT for that. Like not totally, but. I wish I remember what you said.
Chili, we know you're not credible on your memory of things.
Yeah, well, that's true. But you said something about that. About like when I was getting back into had a goal race.
That's right. Yeah. But Team PTs, nothing that we do at Team PT within a 4-hour block is going to be detrimental to your adrenal glands. Your health.
I agree with that, but that fits into my question earlier about how I get so anal about every day being like exactly how it was written down on paper. You know what I mean?
And so here,
because I agree, I don't need to be that way.
Here's one of the. I actually wanted to hit this topic on the podcast of like, what is when we talk about being capable and fit, like what is that? Because if you are an ultra runner, you are not capable. If you are just a CrossFitter, you are not capable. Like, this is again something that's baked into my mind from the SEAL teams. I believe being capable as far as fitness goes. Fitness to me is a skill set, right? Just like shooting weapons.
Yeah.
It's a skill set. A very, very important foundational skill set for you to have as a human being. For you to be capable means that you should be able to perform well in any environment, in any situation that you find yourself in. And that's the same thing in the SEAL teams. Dude, if we're out on an op and my medic gets shot and killed, and then I get injured, I need to be able to perform medical procedures on myself. If my sniper gets injured, I need to be able to pick up his sniper rifle and put shots downrange at 1,000 yards. If I get killed, somebody needs to be able to pull the breaching charge off my back and blow a hole in a door. Like, everybody in the platoon had that foundation of capabilities in all aspects, in all environments. You could put us in the air. You could put us in the cold weather Arctic environment. You could put us in the ocean. You could put us in the desert. You could put us in the jungle. And we could move sufficiently with speed and effectiveness across that terrain. And so I've seen this time and time again. Ultra runners, you are not capable, in my opinion. You are not fit, in my opinion.
That's all you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try to defend yourself. You will get made a fool. All right? CrossFitters, I see you guys time and time again. You suck. Anything over 20 minutes and you fall apart. You look fit. Yeah, you've got some physique, but you absolutely are ineffective. I see this on the basic course. I see this in my own gym. You are ineffective. That is not what being a strong, capable human being is. And let me tell you, I'm not just complaining. I'm going to come up with a solution to this. When we get this app up and running, it is my goal to have our own programming on the app that you can follow, and the programming is going to be tailored into making you an effective and capable human being.
Well-rounded.
As it pertains to fitness. In other words, if you follow this programming, you will be able to swim, run, lift, move, climb, jump, everything.
Bike.
He didn't say bike. Wouldn't leave it. You know what?
You will be
mountain biking sucks.
You will be able to do all of this. In other words, you would be able to show up to my team PT any Wednesday, and you should be able to at least come close to beating me. I'm not going to let you beat me, but you should be able to come close. And so this is the programming that I want to develop. And
that's a good idea.
It's going to be, there's nothing else out there like it. And this CrossFit thing, man, they claim this is functional fitness. Well, every CrossFit athlete I've ever seen is about the most incapable person in the fitness realm. You go beyond and really beyond 20 minutes, and it's like they fall apart.
It's kind of like well-rounded weightlifting. CrossFit is like it's a specific thing, and they do things in a specific way. CrossFit, so it's not much different than ultra running or someone who's just a cyclist or someone who's just a swimmer. It's very specific, and we've talked about this. That's how you and me differ a lot. Is I spent all of my life and still am this way, even though I recognize the importance of being well-rounded. I'm so hell bent on being an ultra runner because that's just what I like, and that's how my head works. And that's my specific goal. And yours is way more well-rounded.
Well, here's the answer to that, though. I think if you have a specific goal, you can tailor a program temporarily to help you hit that goal. By temporarily, I even mean if it's a year. So if you want to set a world record in whatever it is, running, CrossFit, whatever, some specific discipline.
Yeah, which that's a goal of mine.
That's right.
That takes years.
Then yeah, you can temporarily tailor your training. I think that's healthy, right? As long as it's temporary. But your overall objective for life should be to be capable and to have longevity, right? When I'm freaking 60 years old, I want to be able to do whatever the crap I want to do and do it good.
Yeah, well, no, I agree with that.
You know?
But I think you don't agree with me, though, because I think if I just said, okay, now this is a tailored block for me to try to set the 100-mile world record or 24-hour world record, which both just got set recently, you may say, okay, temporarily you can do that. And then a year, and I'm still not there, but I'm working towards it. 2 years. Well, I'm better than I was, way better than I was when I started. I'm getting closer every day. Still not there. 5 years. I mean, that takes a lifetime, potentially. I mean, it may not, but it could take 10 years. It could take a year. It could take 10 years.
I guess
I mean, like,
so.
that's such a hard goal.
You better hope somebody don't try to punk you on the sidewalk during that 10-year time span.
Well, no, I mean, I agree. Like, that, or the year time span, or in the year.
Yeah,
that you gave it. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Maybe this. I have to say, I guess my opinion on fitness is opinionated, I guess. But to me, that's what's important. So, you guys that just want to be capable, strong people that can compete.
Are you talking about the warrior, not athlete?
Something like that.
Yeah, that's
not what it's going to be called.
I know, but
yeah, if you want to be capable, strong, and just be able to compete in a lot of different arenas, and actually, this programming is going to be for you.
I don't know. It's just we've talked about it. You want to be good at good at several things or great at one thing.
Well, y'all are disputing what is better. What's a better goal to have? Is it better to be well-rounded, or is it better to have a goal of going and running this race? Because if you want to be well-rounded, then your goal is to be well-rounded, exactly. And that's what you do. If you want to finish and set a 100-mile world record, then that's your goal, and that's what you do. So y'all are debating, essentially.
Well, I'm not saying which one's better.
There's value in both. You just have to determine which one makes more sense.
No, I'm not debating which one's better, because clearly being more well-rounded is a better life goal. I mean, but I think I don't see anything wrong if you want to like chase a specific goal like that.
No.
Or maybe there is something wrong with it, but I still want to do that.
I think what's wrong with it is if you dedicate your entire life and every ounce of your capability into setting some running record.
Yeah.
I think you have missed out on a lot of really cool, awesome, fun stuff.
That may be true. I would grant you that.
Yeah.
But there's something about, I think people that don't have a specific goal like that don't understand is like, that's just what I want to do.
Well, I set specific goals.
No. I mean, I'm talking like a lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I set specific goals and I
want to be great at one thing.
Yeah, and I achieve in ultra running.
Yeah.
When I decide when I decide I want to win a race, it don't take me 5 years. Now, if a world record's a little different, but I could set. I want to win this race. I'm going to work toward this race for 6 months. I win the freaking race, man.
Yeah, I mean,
that's just. I
should say it's a difference in someone who's decided that they want to be great at one thing lifetime.
But you ran for a long time before. I mean, you did in the SEALs. Yeah. You were well-rounded, but then you came out and you ran for, what, 3 years or more?
Yeah.
Until you actually started cross-training and doing other things. All you did was run for a while. So then you built that running base.
Yeah.
And then you built on it. So now it's like you have these good, solid blocks of, if I want to get stronger, I can get stronger because I've got this base of strength. If I want to run better, I can run. So you've got these big blocks, and temporarily you can decide, well, I'm going to elevate this one and let this one go down. But it may take time to build that block. Like, you might have to just focus on running for a while.
Yeah, well, I mean, go look at somebody who's truly great at anything. They're probably not that dynamic. I mean, you could go find a freak athlete like LeBron James, okay? He's a great basketball player, and, yeah, you could probably put him in a lot of different physical things, and he'd be pretty dang good. I mean, maybe not ultra running, but a lot of different arenas. He'd be good. But to be great at one thing, you're going to miss out on some stuff.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, you just are. And I think people who don't want to be, they don't have that thing that they want to be great at, won't get somebody that does.
I think there's also an argument, though, to say that you can be great at one thing and also be well-rounded at the same time.
Well, that would be my goal.
Maybe great, but not the best. You're not going to be the fastest runner out there, but also be able to go hang with the best in the CrossFit gym.
I'm not saying hang with the best, but you should be able to hold your own against the general public.
I bet you couldn't go run what's the record on a mile? Sub 5 minute?
3:43.
I bet you can't go run a 3:43 mile and even hang with the general public. It
was Hickam El Garouge. He looks like a bird. I mean, even more so than I do.
But that's being the best. Now, I think you could be great, but at one specific thing, go do other.
No, I mean, I think one thing too is I would like to read, or I think Chad does more so than me, wants to like redefine the idea that you can only be great at one thing. I mean, a little bit. I see that in you a little bit. Maybe not even be great is the right word, but like you feel like you can be. There's a difference in great and the best too, but be great at many things.
Yeah,
we're dancing around a lot of stuff here. We hadn't thought this out far enough. I feel like we're dancing around the same topic.
Well,
people's tired of listening to this. What else you got for us?
That's
Chad?
what I got to say about that. Well, we got the race coming up Saturday. I wanted to cover down on a few details on that. I'll hit what's on my mind. When you guys show up to the race the morning of, go and I'll release the basic course dates after this because I know all you guys aren't coming to the race. But when you're driving down Texas Valley Road, on your left-hand side, you'll see one entrance to the park. There'll be a big sign right there. Keep going past that. It'll be the next entrance on the left if you're coming from Highway 27.
Yep.
So pull in there, and it'll be the first turn on your left, the Pioneer Shelter. That'll be the start-finish line. We got a lot of awesome stuff lined up for you guys. This race thing has been quite a project, but I think it's going to be worth it 100%. You got anything else you want to put out on that, Blake?
I don't think so. Do you want to mention what you talked about earlier about staying up there?
Oh, I will send that out on email.
All right.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're pumped about the race, man. Basic course dates for 2022. I'm going to go ahead and put those out real quick. So, basic course. If you haven't heard about what the basic course is, well, I don't know what to tell you because I don't even really know how to explain what it is. It's a mission that we run in the wilderness where we teach you all the hard skills that I was taught in the SEAL teams, and
as it pertains to backpacking.
Yeah, as it pertains to being out in that wilderness environment. But we also teach you teamwork, leadership, all this stuff we've been talking about on this, a lot of the stuff we've been talking about on this show here. I told you that I can't put this formula or this process out in some book and you understand it. You have to come and practice it. And so we facilitate that over the course of 3 days. And these dates, these classes, these teams, first slots are going to be chosen from our Patreon members that submit their application. They will have priority. These classes, basic course classes, usually fill up. Well, right now, I mean, we could book the whole year out. So they fill up. I read every application and hand pick the members of each team. So for 2021, the first date's February 25 through 27, March 18 through 20, April 8 through 10, May 13 through 15, and June 10 through 12. So that's 5 teams right there. Those are the dates. If you want to submit an application, you have to send me your 5 W's. Who, what, when, where, and why. 2.
3 of 7 basic course.
3 of 7 basic course. Just the number 3 of the number 7 basic course.
At
gmail.com. Send me that application. And don't get in a hurry. I tell you guys to be patient. And the process of being a team member at the basic course starts when you send your application in. If you get selected, you'll hear back from me personally. And you'll get plugged into a team. That's how that works. All right. That's a lot. I think I'm going to title this episode, Stop Thinking Like an Individual.
You know, I should have asked one more question, but we need to wrap this up.
Yep. Tune in for the next one, guys.
We'll leave you on that.
The next episode, I want to talk about some struggles I've been having, and I also want to talk about false humility and how it aggravates the ever-living crap out of me. And I've also got a bunch of good Q&A from people on Instagram. So, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll talk to you soon. Hopefully, we'll see a bunch of you guys out at the race on Saturday. We love you. Nuff said.